everybody, welcome back. This is probably one of the biggest Central Park updates or just general updates in the city I've done in a while. So let's get into it and see all the work that I've done. So here's what it's looking like at the moment. So you'll probably notice right off the bat that it looks very different. So the first big change is that I went from having a train track which kind of went like this to now just going straight through, and that is because when I redid this back area, I was able to shift this over and put it on its own and put the train tracks straight through, so now it works a lot better. I really like the look of it. I like the look of the Ghostbusters, and I like the look of this skyscraper row. So now the train track being straight, I think, doesn't divide the Central Park as much, doesn't feel as dangerous. I have these hedges along, but we'll get into all that. So I think starting with the first thing, because I did that uncurved, now I was able to finish the sidewalk all the way through. So now I have included my new dog park, and I've also redid this front area. So let's take a look at the dog park first. So it has two entrances. The first one is right here. This is the one from the sidewalk. And you come in, and there's just a path which leads you to the other gate, which comes in from this area. Then just around, it's very simple. There is a bin for all the poop bags. Then around, there's just some flowers, some of the fern pieces, some of the stems with the, the stems with the leaves. There is some pee, there's poop around. Then there's a squirrel. Then there's just a bunch of people with their dogs. There's a little dachshund, there's a Dalmatian, a husky, someone that's a dog worker picking up. The firefighters are training their dogs, all the little dogs. I think it looks really nice. It's a nice little scene. And then fencing around is this wall, and then the main wall, which goes around the whole thing, which is this design. So I think that looks pretty good. So let's move on into the next area. So this is this newer, refreshed entrance area. So I wanted to make it a little more grand. So I included these black cast iron gates, which are always open. So then you can recognize the same tile pattern, which comes in, this is a center, and you can either go this way, this way, or out. So coming over here, I added some flowers, the same tree. Then there's another flower bed. I think this area looks nice. The pink and the purple contrast each other well. Right over here, there's a little hot dog stand and a picnic bench with some people eating. Over here, I built and placed the brand new corner kiosk. I think it looks really nice. It gives a little bit of substance of a building versus just a lot of smaller things. I like the look of it. Then right across from it, there is a little coffee cart with a worker outside of it. I think that looks pretty nice. So then moving on over, there is this, which is the crossing over of the train track, which I think looks a lot better than the old one by far. So now this will lead you into the new part, which you probably recognize. Finally, it's all green and there's not plywood here. I'm very happy about that. So it may not look like a lot, but I I plated it all off, which took a lot of green plate. And then I continued the wall all around. You may also notice that this hill has finally come down to the bottom. So let's look at that. So it may not look like too much, but when I tell you it required a lot of pieces, so I basically took this and then just doubled it, replicated it, and put it on the lower part. Looks good, continuous, nice hill up. And then here, diverging off where there will be a staircase eventually, I have this nice little community garden along the hill. It's where the community comes and grows different types of plants. So I have pumpkins, some cherries, carrots, and tomatoes. So I think that looks good. There's a path connecting it. There's some people working on it. And then this will continue coming down. So this part, this farmer's market, is still not done yet. I did build the base for it. So then eventually, once I get the pieces, I will start doing that again. But that is currently on hold because I also don't exactly know how I want to do it. It's going to be a complicated one because I want to have vendors on the hill as you go down, not just a straightforward down, because you can't place vendors along here. So that's the update on the farmer's market. Another thing I forgot to mention was that I have the hedges all along now. It is 8 leaf pieces tall. There we go. 8 leaf pieces tall. Here they are. They're on both sides. And then also right here, you'll see the base for a fountain. So all I did was just map out how big the fountain will be. And my idea, if you've seen my previous videos, is to have it come around in a circular, and it's going to head off that way. It's going to head toward the farmer's market and head up the stairs, kind of like this, except there'll be like a big fountain in the middle. So this is the farmer's market. I talked about that. This is the staircase up to the botanical garden, which hasn't changed since you've last seen it. The pathway out of here, and then over here, this is where I need your help, because I really have no idea what to do with it, because I wanted to do a tennis court, but I think the tennis courts are not going to look too great in the park. So I'm wondering if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Because I need something that will fill the space, but also isn't too big and too much of a building. I want it sort of like an outdoor piece, like right now I have community gardens, a farmer's market, a dog park, similar to that kind of vibe. And then relatively part of the Central Park, I have completed this area around here, which I really like. So when I proposed this idea a while ago, more than a couple months now, I wasn't too sure how it would come out. But now looking at this, I'm really liking it. I really like this wall. And then I just installed this brand new ramp, which is moving up. This was a complicated build. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't actually for this bridge, because that gave me the confidence to do this. So thank gosh for that bridge. Then just this is a lifted up piece of the road and goes up and keeps going. Another thing that you may notice that you would never know is that I had to rebuild all the foundations of this one and this one, just so that it would be on the base plate it was half a plate. So all that for half a plate. So that's not too good, but I had to rebuild it all just so I could fit it. But I think it looks a lot nicer now, because if you didn't know, these are really just slid on. They're not actually attached because it's built on the base plate, because I don't use mills. So that's how it's looking right now. I also added some green under the track. I moved over this wall. I have the Ghostbusters there. This is a future update for the whole skyscraper district. I'm giving it away a bit. But this is the current status on the Central Park, so I think we should take a look at it from over there, in the main walking-in view, to see how it looks. So here's how it's looking. I really like it. The community gardens really pop out on the hill, which I do like as well. And then when you first walk in, one of the things you see definitely is the botanical garden. As you get closer, you start to see this hill part, and then when you look over here, like that, there's this. I'm not completely happy with the dog park yet. So I think it just needs trees. I think it needs a tree, maybe two. I'm not quite sure yet. And then definitely don't worry, there'll be more trees in this area. But for right now, I think it looks okay. I think it's maybe just something about it. Maybe it's a little too busy, but we'll see. I'll definitely be making a little bit of changes to it. But I think the Central Park is looking really good. That ramp looks good. So that's it for the Central Park. Now, I know it's been a while since I've done a Central Park update, so if you haven't seen what the Central Park looked like, go check that video out. It's not the trees video, it's the video before that. It's a couple months ago, and that's where I started just the base construction, that's where I built the botanical garden, placed it, did the gardens around it, started this hill, and started the base construction. And you can also see what this looks like before I kind of refreshed it. Another thing I wanted to do was thank my friend for coming over, because just like last time we built the botanical garden and a lot of my city, if it wasn't for him, the city would look a lot different. So thank you to him for coming over, and I think it looks really nice. He brings a lot of ideas, and speaking of ideas, please let me know what you think. If you have any ideas, please let me know, because I need them, especially for this section. Any ideas of how to build the farmer's market along the hill, let me know. Any suggestions you have for the dog park, this front area, anything like that, please do let me know, because it's not done yet. It can always be changed. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these Central Park videos. The Central Park is coming out to be one of my favorite parts of the city, just because I like the break up of the green from all this denseness. I like it a little open and green. It's good to look at, and I love how it goes up. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video. Thank you so much for all the support recently. We just hit 140 subscribers at the time of filming this. So thank you so much. In the past, I've been posting a lot of reels, not reels, YouTube shorts, if you've been noticing, and those have really been blowing up. So thank you to everyone who watches those, and I hope the same happens to these videos. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.